Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on In the Fire. Amber Heard had another movie and she's in it? Okay. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 12. Available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. I don't think this movie would be watched even if Amber Heard hadn't done what she did. So she stars as a doctor in, I don't know what time period this is. They're on horseback. I'm going to say late 1800s, maybe early 1900s, possibly in Italy. I'm not sure. Could be Mexico. Could be just the Southwest. Could just be a Western, so 1800s maybe. I'm seeing Italian names though. So the premise is there's a kid, Amber Heard. There's a kid who's born different, and the village blames every problem in the village on him. See if I can see these credits. Oh, almost. There we go. Written by Connor Allen, Pascal Borno, and Silvio Maraglia. Directed by Connor Allen. So I'm seeing a lot of Italian names. It's Saban Films. Hervolino and Lady Bacardi Entertainment. Also sounds Italian. So I'm going to guess this was probably shot in Italy. And that was the point. Right? Maybe this was shot after the Heard or during the Heard Depp trial. I don't know. So this is the kid, and he's the new Damien. He's the new Antichrist. But Amber Heard, being a doctor, is going to bring science to the village and say, no, he's just different. And in this scene, he says, my mother wouldn't let me have books. It's probably why I killed her, or that I killed her because she wouldn't give me books, or something like that. I know. I did watch the trailer. I just watched it. I'm trying to do a quick reaction. I can't remember everything. Anyhow, Amber Heard comes to the village to say, oh, I will use science. I will use science. Can you cure my son? And of course, she falls in love with the father. So there's some sexy time there. And meanwhile, the villagers are trying to kill him. The father's line is actually pretty good. It's like, since my son was born, the village has blamed every bad thing that's happened on him. Here she is trying to defend the boy. But it looks like they're blaming. There looks like they're marketing this as a horror movie, or at least an Antichrist movie. So, I mean, so first off, you got Amber Heard. It's a cowboy hat, though. I don't know where this takes place. First, you got Amber Heard. I mean, who, after the Depp trial, are the ladies from the Mary Sue gonna go see this movie? Oh, that'll fill half a theater, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. See, no. See, that could be. Maybe it's Mexico or the Southwest. I don't know. They got cowboy hats here. Here they are falling in love. So, yeah, I mean, so you got Amber Heard. That's a problem. But the other problem is the movie. Amber Heard's a doctor at this time period. That doesn't quite scan. If that's the case. Now maybe the line was cut and the editing just made it. It seemed like they were referring to her as a doctor. Can you cure my son? It's kind of the vibe. Or maybe there was somebody else in the room and it was just the way it was cut. But I'm pretty sure she's a doctor. So there's that. That doesn't seem to scan. Second, okay, let's say she is a doctor in the 1800s. Did they have a cure for being a sociopath or, being a neurodivergent. No, they didn't have a cure for that. They don't have a cure for it now. So, the line, "Can you cure my son?" No. No would be the answer, I would say. You could give him therapy, you keep him locked up, but if he's a homicidal sociopath, he has no empathy. He'll kill people, potentially. Yeah. So, what are you doing? Why are you presenting it this way? I mean, if this is one of these Antichrist movies, then okay, he's some sort of demon or possessed or he's evil. You know the ending of that movie. He dies, or everybody else dies. If he's not, if he's a misunderstood kid who's somehow been framed for all these bad things, how is she to prove that? If the village is convinced, they're not going to be. What could you give them to unconvince them? Nothing. They'll just have to leave the village, which it's a Wild West. They could just leave. That's what people did. You could live wherever you want, essentially. It wasn't property. You could just settle in the middle of nowhere. You had a gun, you build a farm, you grow some crops, have some animals, and eke out a living. That's the way it worked. So, what are we doing here? What is this movie? I guess it's just Amber Heard in the Wild West. Who is it for? Western aficionados is going to look at this very confused. It kind of crosses over into another genre, so the Western purists are out. Those that are in the horror, it doesn't look that scary, really, and they're kind of riding that line. Is it a horror movie, or do people just misunderstand him? Again, if people just misunderstand him, that's kind of not a movie. So he's probably possessed in some way. Like if the ending of this movie was, he was never possessed. Turns out he was born 2 hours earlier, and he couldn't possibly be the devil. Then you don't have a movie. Then it's all a big misunderstanding. I've never seen that in one of these movies presented this way. So he's probably evil. So, there's no sense playing down that. You might as well play it up, as they did back in the day when they did the Omen movies. Oh, they play it up big time. People getting whacked left and right. Damien's eyes glowing and things falling and killing people. Like, do that. You're showcasing Amber Heard. It's not really the way to go, I think. Plus, you got Amber Heard, one of the hottest women still. She's still pretty hot. Dressed as a school marm the whole damn movie. Why don't you just put her in a burqa, you morons? Why the hell did you hire her? You could have hired any actress for this role. You're going to hire Amber Heard to dress as a school marm. What? What? Oh, so we're going to rely on her acting ability? I don't know about that. That's a huge risk. Did she finance this movie herself? What's the story here? I don't know. And the ratio is already not good. So I think this movie's pretty much doomed. Now maybe they shot this before the Heard Depp trial, in which case you should have rushed it out. But it feels like maybe they shot this last year, maybe right after the trial, and this is Amber just trying to get some work to keep the lights on in her house. Not that she's hurting for cash, although she might be. I don't know. She had to pay Johnny. And it doesn't sound like she's good with her money. But yeah, I don't know, ladies. I mean, are you? And like, this isn't a movie that appeals to women necessarily. Like, this is going to skew male. Amber Heard's dressed like a school marm, so what's in this for the guys? The horror, okay, yeah, but if you take Amber Heard out of the equation, let's say, and you replace her with some generic actress, I mean, it mildly looks horror, and that's about it. Horror western. So there's not, and for women, I don't think this is a movie that would skew for women. Like comic books, there are female horror fans, probably more female horror fans than there are female comic book fans organically, I'll say. Because there's a fairly decent sized contingent of women who like horror, but there's I think a larger contingent that don't like horror. So, and they would be the kind of women who would blindly, I think, support Amber Heard. And so, are they going to see this movie? I don't think so. Plus, the Heard Depp thing is in the rear view. I don't think they feel obligated to see this movie. So, I don't know. I think it's a bad move. Oh, let's read some of the comments. She looks so good. What an amazing actress. Can't wait to watch. Are you kidding me? That's a real comment? Is that a real comment? Maybe, I guess. I guess it's possible somebody said that. How exciting. Can't wait. Great to see Amber in a quality looking indie movie. I don't think these are real. She looks amazing. Need to watch it now. Looks decent. More power to Amber. Feeling sad for creditors unless she gave them something. Okay, now we're getting into it. Johnny stepped into a burning ring of fire, went down, 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 and the flames went higher, and it burned, burned, burned in her ring of fire. I don't get that one. Only watching for Amber. This looks pretty good. Hell no. I said, Johnny, you hit me. He just hit me. Proceeds to pose for a picture. The trailer is so good. Which one is Satan? You spelled witch like a witch. Actually looks pretty good. The way the anti-Amber Heard lobby have no problem with abusive message Johnny Depp and Paul Bettany exchanged about her still boggles my mind. Amber in a horror flick. I'd watch it because I'm a horror fanatic, but I like Amber as an actress anyways. Trailer looks good, to be honest. Well, I guess people are liking it, but the downvotes say otherwise. Let's go to the bottom here. I think I might go to this movie to see Amber Heard, just to see Amber Heard get flogged. I don't really care about their case. If the movie's good, the movie's good. Psycho. Down with Amber Heard and anyone who gives that B a role, let alone a major one. Somebody did hashtag be kind. She's a terrible actor. Oh my God, Amber, I still love you. I see Amber Heard. I click thumbs down. Satan better watch out because hell has no fury like Amber Heard. Amber Heard, thumbs down. Let the comments begin. Her face just makes me sick every time. All I hear is her admitting to hitting Johnny and cutting off his finger. I can deal with silly celebs. I can't stand to watch abusers for an hour. This is a pass for me. My dog got stung by a bee. Oh, is that something she did? I don't remember that. Impossible not to think about the trial when I see her. What a waste of space. I feel bad for all the people involved in this movie that has to deal with her and everything that comes with. Watch out for poop on the bed. Dead on arrival. Nobody should support a known thug. Yeah, you got to think, like, if things had gone differently and Johnny Depp was exposed as some sort of major abuser and lost the case and was dragged through the mud for months and months, and then he put out a movie, he starred in it. I mean, you could basically put anybody in the role, really. You could put a guy in the role. Would people... I think people would be up in arms. I think they would be, hey, this is an abuser. Why does he get a movie? So, no, I would never see this. I would never want to support this. I mean, the only reason to see this for me anyway would be to laugh at it and see how terrible it is. And it looks, to me, it looks terrible. Just as a movie, it looks terrible. I don't believe Amber Heard. Not that her acting's particularly bad in this. It's just she's so insanely wrong for the role. A doctor in the Wild West doesn't seem like a good role for the one of the hottest actress in. If she's gonna be that hot, you really got to dress her down. You got to do something, like give her a scar, a fake scar on the face. Maybe then maybe you could sell it to me. But when Cameron Diaz was in Being John Malkovich, I didn't even recognize her because she had always had the same sort of look in movies. Hot blonde, always blonde hair, always very bright. But in Being John Malkovich, she had brunette hair, long, covered part of her face, and she was really mousy. Probably didn't wear makeup most of the time, and really changed up her body language. Amber Heard looks exactly the same. It just looks like Amber Heard being in a movie. Now some celebs can get away with that because their charisma overrides everything, or their looks override everything. I think Nick Cage is one of those guys. It almost doesn't matter what role he's in. I kind of want to see the movie because I like Nick Cage. And, he can't hide himself very, very well, even though he is changing up his looks in his more recent movies. Like Amber, I don't even think she's really making much of an attempt here. She kind of looks like she does at the trial. Like, to me, someone like Amber, who's suffered a major, defeat in the public square, the only thing that could rehabilitate her reputation would be if she did a comedy in which she is very self-deprecating. So, like a comedy about, the most obvious thing would be what Nick Cage did, a comedy about her. Now, would people laugh at that? I don't know. But her fans would like it. Her remaining fan base would be all in on it. I wouldn't make jokes about the trial. I would avoid that. But if she just made a movie, for instance, about being a hot actress who is just sick of Hollywood and tries to go and live her life and have a relationship, but she can't because everybody sees her as a sexual object, and it's about that sort of comedy, like that would work. Or if she was an actress who was very full of herself, who gets her comeuppance in a comedy, like she has to reconnect with her dying mom, let's say. But her mom's like a cranky old woman, and she's always been full of herself, but now her career's on the skids, and she has to make nice with her mom before she dies, or she won't get the inheritance. Like, you could feel sorry for her, and it would be a fictional thing that would be away from the trial. This isn't really near the trial, but she does, she looks like she looked at the trial. There's no change in look here. So, I don't know. I think this is a bad all the way around. But maybe some people will like it. Maybe some people won't even care. I mean, a lot of people probably don't even know who Amber Heard is. I know she's very famous, but a lot of people just don't follow that stuff. They just don't follow anything. They just go, oh, I want to watch a movie. Is this good or not? Those people would be, if you could find enough of those people, they would be the perfect focus group people. For people who don't watch movies. In a lot of respects, their bar is very low. Because they just don't watch anything. Except very rarely. But anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more bass takes. I'll be at the Greenwich Artisan Fair on Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 5 and 10 to 4. Hope to see you there. We'll see you tomorrow.